1 2. Check 1 2.
Yeah, we're good.
Hello and welcome to this week's Football Talk podcast. I am Josh Call, and with me is none other than David Cultured Leftfoot Nichols. How are you, Dave?
Hello, mate. I'm very good. I'm very well, thank you. What about yourself?
Yes, pretty good, thank you. Getting in the Christmas spirit. Decorations are up. Tree is going up this morning. Yourself? Are you decorated? Are you?
No.
You
I've
in
got
the
an
spirit?
advent
No.
calendar. I'm in the spirit.
Well, you got
I was singing Christmas songs at work yesterday, probably to the annoyance of everybody else.
Yeah, I imagine so, yeah.
It's quite hard to get Christmassy over here because it's 32 degrees every day. So
yeah, that is one of the things stopping me from living in a warmer climate. I just like the seasons. As much as you go, oh god, it's cold and wet, but it is nice to have a cold Christmas.
Yeah, I would agree. Although I am spending it in Borneo on Christmas Day, so I'll be in the sun and the beach drinking cocktails. It'll be lovely.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe I do like a warmer climate. Yeah, it's a tough decision. It's
but yeah,
you've changed my mind immediately. So your advent calendar, chocolate, I presume, is it?
chocolate. It's a dairy milk one. I was a bit disappointed because my mother-in-law and father-in-law came to visit us last week out here, and well, they bought me a Cadbury dairy milk one, and they bought their daughter a Lindt one, and I was like, that is favouritism.
But I would say that Cadbury's is probably the king of chocolates. Although there are other
Lindt is really nice though.
Yeah, I do. Everyone's got their kind of they might have a bit of a special one, but overall Cadbury's just wins out because it's just the best chocolate, and it's a chocolate I could eat the most of, which is also a great thing because it's something nice to binge on a big bar of chocolate, and I couldn't do that. Galaxy's too smooth.
Yeah, Galaxy's too smooth and milky. It's like it leaves that sort of like sticky on your tongue. Clag, yeah.
Enjoy that in your earphones, people.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Right, sod this, Josh. Come on, move along.
All right, let's move on to the news. Some stuff's happened this week, Dave. What's been your standout news item this week?
Oh God, there's loads, isn't there? I mean, I think the thing that stood out for me, now we don't really get into politics and everything on the podcast, but Italy are idiots. Have you seen the headline in the newspaper? It was...
Oh, is this Lukaku?
Yeah, it was Inter Milan versus Roma, and they went with Black Friday as their headline because of Lukaku and Chris Smalling. Really... So yeah, that was that really caught my eye in a very negative way, and they've had a lot of controversy because of it. But back closer to home, well, you predicted Marco Silva to go. He's gone.
He has gone.
Yeah.
Yes,
Thoughts?
And it was no surprise after a bit of a thrashing, wasn't it? It was. We'll touch on it in the reviews a bit more, but if you lose 5-2 away your local rivals when they put out, I mean, somewhat of a B side for, I guess, a bit of an A-B mix, but if you're playing Origi, Shaqiri, Lallana, Milner as starting players who don't often start in the big games, Milner maybe, and then lose 5-2 after the run he's had, there's only really one answer, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean...
David Moyes.
David Moyes, I don't think that's ever the answer. But it's because normally like those big games, like the derby games, especially like the cross-city derby games, are when the players up their level, and they just didn't show that. And like you say, Liverpool played such a weakened team, only having Mane out of that front three. We were texting each other, weren't we? Like, Klopp is taking the piss.
Yeah, it did seem that. It was like, I'm going to rotate for once, actually, in the local derby. It's like, oh man, that is brutal. Yeah.
But, yes, he's gone.
Everton fans, it started off like Richarlison signs a new deal. Silva's sacked. They're probably happy about both. Shame there's a 5-2 loss in the middle of that.
Yeah, very true. I mean, is David Moyes the right thing to go? Do you think he'll steady the ship, or do you just think it's a bit of a cop out and let's? It's tough. If you were Everton, if you were the board, if you're the Everton owner, what would you do, Josh? Would you try and recruit someone for a bit more long term to try and plan for next season, or would you go for we just need someone to make sure that we don't get relegated and then we'll sort it out?
Honestly, I think if you're being a business owner now and you look at their next run of games, you'd think we could be in the relegation zone at Christmas. It's not a good place. I think you'd want in immediate. It's got to a point where you need immediate results now, and well, I'm not sure David Moyes is the one to provide it, but
that's what I think.
Yeah.
It's very
See how
strange.
Big Dunk does.
Yeah, but he's come out this morning or yesterday when he did his press conference saying that he doesn't want it full time.
He's doing a Gareth Southgate, is he?
Well, potentially, yeah, but I don't think he does. He said, "I'm just a coach at the moment. I'm not ready for a job like that." So, but yeah, Marco Silva leaves the club with a win percentage of 35.9, which was below Sam Allardyce, Ronald Koeman, Martinez, and David Moyes. So
better than Solskjaer.
But better than Solskjaer. Yeah. Enough about that. Pochettino to Everton.
They would love it, and he would be a very sideways, backward step. But I think I read there's 100 people have applied for the vacant job. It's like, man, some of those have got to be Football Manager players.
Yeah,
just kind of
they've got to be
taking the mick there, and obviously Pardew will be in there because he's desperate. But that's got to be a pretty bleak list of 100. I mean, I wonder how many you'd know, and how many you'd go, yeah, actually, that sounds like a good option, because I imagine it's very few.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? It's very interesting.
Yeah.
I'd love to see that list, like after they appoint someone, like 100 down to 1, and then they reveal who got knocked out at what stage. Every club should do that.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be heartbreaking for the people involved.
Oh yeah,
but
we'd
enjoy it.
Entertainment, yeah.
Because obviously something like that must have happened for the Watford job, because Nigel Pearson has been appointed head coach. Hayden Mullins' caretaker role was short-lived.
Yeah.
Textbook 1 game in charge, and now it's Nigel Pearson. What are your thoughts on Pearson back at it?
They're getting relegated. He's not going to save them. He's not going to keep them up. I'm not a fan of Nigel Pearson. I've never been a fan of his, really. He did reasonably well with Leicester, I think you can say, but yeah. Oh, well, he got them promoted, didn't he? And then
so all Watford need to do now is get relegated, promoted, be close to relegation again, stay up, have an orgy in Thailand, and then next season, after that, win the league.
He's had his highest win percentage was at West Brom as caretaker manager. His second highest win percentage was Leicester, 51%. It's not actually that bad. Yeah,
but it does reek of forward planning for. Most of the managers linked did reek of forward planning for life in the Championship, because when Chris Hughton was no one mentioned, it's like, oh, that's not.
Yeah, but this is only till the end of the season, isn't it? It's not long term, so it's not really forward planning. It's just.
Oh, he's only got.
He's only 6 months, so like a 6-month contract. He's that's why I found it a bit strange, because he's not. If he gets relegated, if he doesn't save them, I don't know why they would give him a job.
Because he's only really successful because he was caretaker at West Brom, only really successful at Leicester.
Yeah.
And most of it has been Championship based. He did nothing at Derby.
Nothing at Hull, really.
Didn't he manage abroad for a while, actually?
Yeah, he went to his last job was abroad, wasn't it? Was it in
Belgium?
Belgium, yeah, that was it. Yeah. He didn't do very well. He didn't last very long there. So.
No, I think we going back to the point we're making, how it's a bit threadbare, the old talent pool for managers. So sack at your peril, I suppose.
I can't imagine that Watford job had 100 applicants, being 7 points off the pace in the Premier League with a goal difference of -21 or whatever it is. I can't imagine that had plenty of applicants, as if I would take this job and keep you up, sort of thing.
If it did, it will be an even bleaker read than the Everton one.
Yeah, very true. Very true. What else has caught your eye in the news?
I don't think we covered it last time out, but obviously Ballon d'Or was decided. The best player of all time wins it again.
Wow, debatable.
It's not, though, is it? He is just mesmerising. But it's just... It's coming to the end, isn't it? Both of them are slowing down. It just makes me get a bit sad thinking that Messi is going to be retiring at some point in the near future, and it's just... It is,
because there's no...
It's going to be a bit empty, yeah.
Is there anyone really, would you say, in the wings ready to take on that sort of mantle that Ronaldo and Messi have had of the battle between two really world-class players, like Mbappe? I wouldn't class Neymar up there anymore, but do you think, is there anyone else that springs to mind when you think of players that could be, not as good as Messi and Ronaldo, but as dominating in terms of Ballon d'Ors and stuff?
No, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how João Felix kind of progresses over the coming years, but it really does open it up to two other players to win it because I mean, apart from Modric, I don't think anybody else has won it since 2007. I think, which is just absurd.
Yeah. And Modric really didn't
So-
deserve it.
No, you look back and Modric won all the individual awards that year. It's like, and people look back and go, "Wow, he must have been just phenomenal." Like he must have. No, he actually continued as was really. He was actually just good again.
Anyway.
Messi's gone from fifth in the best in the world to best in the world again. But I mean, Virgil van Dijk, do you think it was hard done by?
Sort of. I think he is obviously an exceptional defender, but I just think in this day and age, you're not going to beat Ronaldo or Messi. It should always be one of those two because they're so good, and Messi probably does deserve it this year over Ronaldo. Yeah. And I don't think Van Dijk can say. I don't think he can feel like he's hard done.
No, you just have to add him to the list of disgruntled players over the last 10-15 years who feel like they should have won it, but Messi's better.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, talking of Cristiano Ronaldo, this is a very, very, very. This isn't a link at all. I don't know why I've gone to it. But, obviously, Jorge Mendes is Cristiano Ronaldo's agent, and right. Jorge Mendes is agent for a lot of people. And this year, 2019, has been the first year where agents have been paid over £500 million in total due to transfers. £501 million. That is ridiculous, isn't it?
That's a lot of money. There's a lot of money sloshing around this game, isn't there?
£501 million leaving football. Just leaving football for no reason. Ridiculous. 20% increase from last year. So it's
that's an interesting one because it must be a little graph correlation with transfer fees, and then you can obviously see their percentages going up on things like that. But,
so of that £501 million, Josh, how much of it do you think came in a percentage terms? How much of it came from Italy, England, Germany, Portugal, Spain, and France combined in a percentage?
97%.
Oh, that's far too high.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, 80%.
Oh,
80%. Well, because you got to remember China. China has thrown loads of money around.
Okay, yeah.
So they would have paid a lot of agents and stuff. But
covered everything, but yeah, okay.
But there you go. So I thought that really caught my eye in terms of agent fees because no one likes agents. No one likes them. They're all horrible. Stealing money out of the game.
Necessary evil.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's like recruitment. Recruiters in our general world, having to go through recruitment agents. It's like, you kind of like them when you need a job, but then they're really, really pesky and pestering when they actually don't want a job. And it's like, no, stop touting me out. Leave me alone. And all right. Have you got any other news, David?
There's a couple.
From me.
A couple of things. Yeah, a couple of other things.
Chelsea.
Chelsea's transfer ban has been halved.
Oh yes.
On appeal.
Yes.
Now we've got some Chelsea fans that listen. So.
Yeah.
But
in the summer they couldn't sign anyone. They signed 2 people, and then they can sign people in January again. So it's been tough for them. Yeah,
it's been a tough time. But do they need anyone? It's gone very well without them being able to sign. If you think, like you said, they lowered expectation, they would have planned for not being able to sign someone, and now it turns out they can sign someone. Would you buy someone to squad depth and things like that, or would you?
Yeah, I would say at left back they would probably look to sign someone.
Okay.
They've been kind of linked with Ben Chilwell. I'm not sure. It'd be who's available at this time, but and also Jadon Sancho. They've been linked with. He's obviously a big fan of England and living in London. It would be very key to him. He would fit in kind of with their ethos, being a young English player, kind of a long-term replacement for Willian. I think, I don't know. I'd be nice to think that Lampard would go, you know what, it's working really well. Let's just continue, and we'll unless someone's really available now, we won't force the issue, and we'll carry on.
Yeah, very true. I think obviously he's done a very good job, and I don't think they'll be busy in the transfer window. I think they'll be pretty settled. So. We'll have to wait and see. But so that was overturned. And then the other bit of news, Josh, was that Brendan Rodgers has given a big 2 fingers up at Arsenal, hasn't he, by signing a new contract at Leicester.
Yeah, I mentioned Leicester fans were pretty nervous, since though he left his club he supported as a boy when going well and winning trebles in the middle of a season to move to Leicester. So I don't think that moving to Arsenal would have been that much harder of a push for him. But no, he's turned his back and signed a new deal.
Yeah, 3-year extension, and he's done everything to earn that, I would suggest, at the moment, for a high-flying Leicester in
Yeah, I
second
mean,
place.
I don't ever foresee him actually fulfilling that contract, but it's a good statement.
Yeah, definitely. So, other than that, no, I haven't really got anything else left for the news.
And well, we'll touch it. We'll go to reviews. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. You know what time it is, Dave?
I think so. Give me a clue.
Ooh la 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 la. Ooh la 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 la. Ooh la 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 la. It's quizzing time. Right,
Hooray.
Dave.
Yes, got my pen and paper.
This after you flailing around last week, I thought I'd make it a bit easier for you now. So, Riyad Mahrez scored his 50th Premier League goal, and he became the 5th African player to do so in the Premier League. So I'd like you to name the other 4 African players to score 50 or more league goals.
Oh, okay. Sadio Mane.
Oh, nice. 74, bottom of the list. Well, second bottom, because Mahrez will have been on 50.
Okay, so Mahrez is 5th. Then Mane.
Yes.
Didier Drogba.
Didier Drogba, top of the list, 104.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just trying to think. I don't know. He wouldn't have got 50. Is Mo Salah African from Egypt?
Yes.
Is that counted in Africa? Yeah. He must be second.
Amazingly, he's...
There's no way he can't be on the list, Josh.
Oh, hold on.
Hold up.
Oh, no. This is embarrassing.
Yeah, this is.
This is really bad. This is really embarrassing. Oh no!
What have you done?
Oh no, Dave. Right? Yeah. Yes. Mo Salah. It's on the list. Forget the order. I previously said I was reading an abbreviated list.
Right. Okay.
So let me start that again. Riyad Mahrez becomes only the 9th African to score 50 Premier League goals. And they annoyingly in the graphic put the top 4 of that. So I was like, oh, he must be 5th. So there are 9. So right.
Okay. I'm going to go a bit out there and go with Kanu from Arsenal.
Oh, Nwankwo Kanu, 54 goals.
So how many am I guessing now? Because it's gone from 4 to Mahrez being 9th. So am I guessing the top 10?
No, so there's 8 others than Mane, and you've named Drogba, tick.
Yeah.
Mane, tick.
Yeah.
Salah, tick. Kanu, tick. So you have 4 more remaining.
Okay. Are they all quite modern, or are there some from like early?
Yeah, there's one which is kind of the early years, but the others all kind of would have maybe. I think they all would qualify for a Wikifiles.
Okay, all right. Feed the yak and he will score. He must have had over 50.
Yes, 95.
Yeah. Okay. Oh wow, that was more than I was imagining.
Yakubu Aigbeni. Quick side quiz.
Yep.
Who did Yakubu score for?
Everton.
Yes.
Portsmouth.
Yes.
Middlesbrough.
Yes.
And he had a really, really short spell in someone who plays in white. Why can I picture him playing in white? Blackburn Rovers.
He did play Blackburn Rovers, and there was also a stint at Leicester, but I can't remember if that was in the Premier League or not.
Okay. I'm very. My brain is on form today.
Yeah, there we
Yaya
go.
Toure. Yeah. He's definitely in there. He's
62 goals.
Number of bangers. So I've got 2 left, yeah?
Yeah, I've got 2 left, yeah.
I'm going to go for the full sweep, Josh. I'm not even going to let you give me a break. Emmanuel Adebayor, I'm going for.
Oh, second on the list, 97 goals.
Oh, man, who am I missing? This will be the one you said was from the early eras, isn't it?
Oh, you got it. God, you're on fire. You're so on it, Dave.
No, he was. So he wouldn't qualify for a Wikifile, you don't think?
No, I don't think he would.
If you give me his clubs that he scored for, or scored the most in the Premier League, would it be too easy? Would it give it away?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Is there any other clue you could give me?
His youth career started with Sutton United, and he ended his career with Dublin City.
That doesn't help.
No, but as a clue though.
Yeah, cheers, thanks. And the other thing is, there couldn't have been that many African players in the early times of the Premier League.
No. All right, I'll give you. He was Nigerian.
Okay. Oh, it's not Norwich striker. Oh, what's his name? I moved to Wimbledon.
Whoa.
Effin Akuku.
Effin Akuku.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, Dave.
Yes.
Wow, we're in the midst of greatness, people. Dave has just smashed the quiz after flailing so badly last week.
Yeah, I've made up for last week.
Yeah. Whereas I failed epically in even just generating the quiz. It was, great. Well done.
Yeah.
Well done.
Have you got any special mentions on your quiz in terms of like other players that just fell short of the 50?
I mean, I didn't realise it was. There was 9 people on the list, Dave. So that's one step too far for me.
Yeah. Well, nailed the quiz. Yes. Delighted with that.
Beautiful work.
Absolutely
right,
delighted.
Let's move on to this week's midweek's game, and we'll quickly touch on.
Josh,
this week's midweek game.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah?
We should definitely point out we're recording this on the Saturday, so the games haven't kicked off yet on the weekend. So we're doing a midweek review, and then next week we'll touch a little bit on the Saturday games that happened potentially, if we remember. So just put that out there as a disclaimer.
Yeah. But we'll touch on the midweek games here. So we had matches on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and for our UK listeners, they were all streamed on Amazon Prime. Now, Dave, you obviously couldn't experience this, but I'll give a little insight to how I found it. So pundits and commentators, it was same old, same old. I mean, on the goal show, I texted Dave this. I was like, Dave, on the goal show, I've got Joe Cole, Dion Dublin, Tim Sherwood, and Robbie Savage. It's not exactly a breath of fresh air. It's
bleak. It's bleak.
Pretty bleak. But the bit which, I mean, it is the future. The fact that you're able to choose the different games. I quite like the fact they had 7:30 kickoffs, 8:15 kickoffs. Watch the first match, and then first half of one match, and then you can watch the first half or full match of the other. So you can watch 1.5 games on the same night. It was just very handy. Obviously, having it you watch on any device, because it's just basically effectively Netflix, isn't it? It's just another streaming device. And yeah, that choice of all the games. And I was thinking about this, that it's very good, but if I was Sky, I'd be quaking my boots, because this is just, I mean, they're so old hat when it comes to movies and sports now. It's like, who wants to pay £40 a month to watch like what their team wants? Maybe they want to pay £10 a month and for their own team, don't they? And it's just but I think betting companies may try and kibosh this, because in-game betting will suffer because of the lag.
Oh yeah, that's very true. I hadn't thought about that.
And I mean, I wouldn't be averse to betting companies having no say in it and getting absolutely stuffed and going and no in-game betting. But yeah, the fact that you're watching it, and because we're on a slight delay, it makes it more difficult. Like you see something coming up, and go, quickly, I'll place a bet on, the next corner because I can see this attack building. It's like, well, that's already happened in the real world, so you can't bet on that. But I think I would be very happy for it to continue and Sky to die a sorry death, because they've really been off their game.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's got a lot of very decent feedback from what I saw on Twitter. I think the most people were moaning about was the pundits and stuff. As like, why didn't they give it some new people alongside some of the experienced pundits that you can get? And I think that's sort of the same feedback I probably would have had. But yeah, I get to watch every single game anyway. So
yeah, my pushback on the new pundits was like, this is their first time they're trying something. It's a somewhat new technology, new platform, new venture. Let's keep things as normal as possible. Don't want to have to train up people or have someone absolutely mess up because they've first time being a pundit or a commentator. So I can understand why they went that route.
Yeah.
Much it was disappointing to see from a kind of a neutral's point of view. You want to see someone new and exciting, a new face, but I can understand exactly why they did it.
Yeah, cool. Right.
So we'll move to the first match. First match will be the Jimmy Glass Derby. Now, Dave, this is a bit of a difficult one. Who is the Jimmy Glass Derby? What is the Jimmy Glass Derby?
What is the Jimmy Glass Derby? It's Crystal Palace Bournemouth.
Yes, and what is Jimmy Glass most famed for?
Scoring a last-minute equaliser or winner for Carlisle to win the league.
Close enough, yeah. So scored a last-minute winner for Carlisle United to keep them in the Football League. Yeah,
okay.
To win, to stay up. 1-1, 10 seconds to go, and he scores from a corner. Check it out on YouTube. It's got to be one of the best footballing moments in the last kind of 10-15 years, I'd say.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So this is Palace Bournemouth, and ended up 1-0 Palace, who went down to 10 men early on. Mario Sacco, do you think deserved a red?
Yes. I think when you see it back, I think it was quite high, wasn't it? So
it was quite high, quite uncontrolled, and I mean it's fractions away from not being given.
Yeah.
It's not like he catches him full on straight in the knee. If he kind of whistled past him and the player wasn't right, it's one of those ones where the reaction of the player has a part to play as well, because he really does roll around. Was it Adam Smith? I can't quite remember.
Yeah,
and yeah, that really does shape it. He sees referee can see the foot's up high, can see the player rolling around. You're like, well, I'll put two together, and you get a red card.
Yeah, true. The whole game was very much just typical Bournemouth, wasn't it? Loads of the ball, nothing, no end product. Loads of the ball.
Yeah, which has been only typical this season, and this is 1 win in 9 now for Bournemouth. They're barely scoring, conceding. This is, and I don't know how many times I have to say this. Eddie Howe is a fraud. This is, honestly, it is just Groundhog Day. This happens every year. You've got to change something. I mean, Simon Francis is still getting on this pitch. It's like they need to just really change it up, and obviously changing it up could end up bad. I don't mean getting Frank de Boer like Palace did and really change it up. Potentially keep Eddie Howe's got to try and reinvent them a bit, because it's just the same old, and it's, I don't know. I wonder if they're happy just kind of standing still, so be it. But I think I need to really I want to see them push on, and I want them to be challenging for Europa League spots and things, because they play some nice football. So make it happen.
Yeah. It comes back to that question again. Like, when, as a fan, are you not happy with just being in the Premier League?
And it works
year in, year out.
It works for both these fans, doesn't it? We talked about this. Same thing with Hodgson. Same with Howe. Who do you reckon, if you take the last few seasons, are happier? Are Bournemouth happy with Howe? Palace happier with Hodgson?
Ooh, Palace, I'd say, because they seem to be showing some progress.
Yeah.
Maybe because they started lower, but yeah, I'd probably say Palace with Hodgson.
Yeah, whereas Bournemouth have been just tickling on at the same level. Yeah. Other talking about this game, Dominic Solanke. Honestly, is there a worse striker around? It makes it even funnier the fact that Sheffield United went and signed Mousse, and he didn't get a look in at Bournemouth, and is actually doing really well. And Solanke is not a Premier League striker, let alone a £20 million striker.
Yeah, they have really wasted some money, haven't they, Bournemouth?
Yeah. I mean, Liverpool are just laughing, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, was it four defeats in a row for Bournemouth? Yeah, like you were saying, it's all pretty crap. Palace, on the other hand, 2 wins in a row. Obviously beating Burnley at the weekend, and up into 7th, I think, when the final table was done after all the midweek fixtures.
Yeah, in fifth for a little while now in the top 7. Yeah.
I mean, Roy Hodgson is he loves it.
He
Absolutely
does,
loves it.
and they're away at Watford next, which new manager Bouncenor I can see being a very low-scoring match. We'll do a little bit of previews after this, so we'll cover each match. And so, if you listen quick enough, you can place some bets based on our predictions. Don't expect to win.
Yeah, he's in my Super Six. Don't watch
yeah. But I mean, and Palace has struggled with injuries at back and not many fit fullbacks. But Jeffrey Schlupp, I don't mind Jeffrey Schlupp. He's a nice explosive player. Really and he scores a couple of nice goals. He's like 2 in 2 for him.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, I think he did score against Burnley. Yeah.
Yeah. Good for one side.
When he was played at fullback, he was the sort of player you always looked at and you thought you're not a fullback. You're a winger. You can't.
Yeah, you're a winger without end product. So you put to fullback.
Yeah. So, but well done, Palace. Well done.
All right. We'll move on to the John Guidetti derby.
Oh, I remember him. Yeah. When did he play for Burnley? Interesting.
I think on loan from Man City, because they're obviously quite local to each other. I think it was a loan move when he was at Man City.
Now at Celta Vigo, I think, if I remember rightly.
What was he?
He definitely played there for some time. I'm going to look it up.
Okay, well, I'll carry on. City. This is City back to the City we know. Just casually scoring 4, might concede, and they did in this case. But this is probably the best I've seen them play in a long while. They really kind of tore into them, didn't they?
They did. They were very, very good. And John Guidetti did play for Celta Vigo, but he's now at Alaves. So.
I love it.
So Man City were very good, and Gabriel Jesus proving he's a very capable striker, just like Aguero. I
think we kind of stuck the boot in a bit after his performance at the weekend and didn't really show much. But yeah, he looked a lot better. I actually really like his second finish, because he actually properly, most people just kind of try and get a bit of a touch in it. He actually tries to properly volley it and gets it and roofs it. It was actually pretty impressive. But I mean, goal of the match. Was Rodri, I presume we were going for.
Yeah,
smashes it almost takes Sterling's face off.
25 yards, 20 yards or something, wasn't it? And absolute belter. It was very, very good. Probably was, yeah.
It's
probably
a
belter.
Yeah.
And then Burnley again. They had a really good start to the season, and now they're sort of sinking off. And are they going to be pulled into trouble? Do you think? It's only 6 points, or so, it might be less than that now. 6. Is it,
Burnley
6
are 4 points drift from Everton in 18th. Burnley. Yeah. It's just I reserve judgment until after until we get to halfway stage, because it really depends on what Everton's. Because if Everton completely fade away, then it's Christ. Then it's the 3 of them currently in the bottom 3 might just kind of make it a lot of a more relaxing Christmas for everybody else.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, very true.
All right.
There's not really too much more to say, is it? Man City dominated it, so.
Yeah, I mean, they still find themselves in 3rd position, which is really quite weird.
Yeah.
All right, we'll move on to I had to go with it. The John Terry derby. He was probably there in full kit and ready to go for either side. It ended up being a very much needed 3 points for Chelsea, didn't it? After 2 losses on the bounce, Spurs were breathing down their neck. 6 points behind them after being 11, 12 points behind them. Now they obviously went the other way again. But yeah, Kante back to his best. He's starting to. He had a bit of a start to the season, as it were. But he seemed to be back on it, didn't he?
Yeah, he looked very good in this game. He was back to that sort of complete patrolling midfielder where he just got the ball back, passed it to someone else, got the ball back, intercepted it, passed it to someone else, and was just really all action. I think is probably what I'd describe his game as. He was very good, very, very good. Also, I thought Reece James, the fullback?
Yes,
I think he's coming. He looks very very tasty as a fullback.
Yeah, we spoke earlier in the season. I was keen to see him because Azpilicueta had a bit of a tough start to the season, got caught out a bit, and obviously Reece James was waiting in the wings. But it had suffered that bad injury. But yeah, he does look good. Yeah, can deliver a lovely ball. But it's just so many English right backs.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Nice hiccup.
Thank you.
So I think, I mean Villa. I want them to be safe, and I think they will be safe. I think they've got enough about them to beat the lower teams, but they are starting to struggle a little bit. I mean, yeah, it's looking tough.
Yeah,
for them,
they're kind of showing spirit and just losing, but those losses still equate to 0 points. So it's not great. And obviously Southampton breathing down their neck to drag them in as well. We said Rodri's was the best goal of this match. I think we all know the best goal of this match was Trezeguet's goal.
Self-assist,
Yeah, I mean,
head to foot goal.
How many times do you want to touch it in like one motion before it goes to a goal? Head, knee, foot. It was brilliant. I don't know if he could do that again if he tried.
But if you watch it in slow mo, I think it was it Tomori, maybe the centre back, who was like just behind him. He assumes when he's headed the ball that it's gone off in a different direction, and Tomori turns his body round, looks back, and the ball's in the back of the net, and you sort of look at his face, and he's sort of like, "How has that happened? What's gone on?" But yeah, great goal, great finish. Can't teach that.
No, can't teach that. But in a truly good finish was Mason Mount. Mason Mount had been struggling. He started obviously like an absolute little terrier this season, kind of hassling and got some goals. But it was nice. He dropped off a little bit, had a few ankle knocks in the end. Maybe it affected him a little bit, struggling with injury. But yeah, it was a lovely finish to win it for this match, wasn't it?
Yeah, it is. I think the key thing I've noticed about Chelsea at the moment is that they're struggling when Tammy Abraham isn't in the team. Like when they played Giroud when Tammy Abraham was injured. It completely sort of nullified how they play going forward, and I think that's something they may look to maybe sort of rectify in the transfer window. Maybe try to find a backup striker to Tammy Abraham, which is a bit more like Tammy Abraham. But
yeah, it's funny because obviously Batshuayi is there and Giroud you mentioned, and a number of the wide men can play through the middle as well. But yeah, Batshuayi, I mean, how many more chances? He's never really had full on game after game starts, but he's got to be thinking, you know what, I'm somewhat done here. I've been loaned out a couple of times, and it's never really worked. I think he probably deserves to go somewhere and play, because whenever he's gone on loan, he's done reasonably. He did well at Dortmund, didn't he? And okay at Valencia, a bit better. Did quite well at Palace as well. I think he probably deserves to be starting in the Premier League. I think if he was to go to say at Palace, I think I'd be in a better shape. But
yeah, very true. You wonder, because where he's done well on those loan spells, you wonder if there's something about his attitude, why they haven't gone to make it permanent. But
or is it his demands, because he's obviously a Chelsea player, wage demands, fee demands from Chelsea, but he's just not it's not acceptable for them to financially do a deal.
Yeah, very true. Very true.
All right, we'll move on to the Kevin Phillips derby now, Leicester versus Watford. And we mentioned briefly about Brendan Rodgers getting a new contract. It's part due to this is his 7 wins in a row, and amazingly, it still finds them 8 points behind.
Yeah, it's crazy.
8 points behind Liverpool.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy in both senses, in the fact that they win 7 in a row and they're still 8 behind Liverpool, and the fact they've won 7 in a row and it's Leicester. It's
they're in second. Yeah.
It's the same thing as when they won the league, isn't it? You can't really believe it's Leicester that are up there. Do
you think I think they're actually doing better than when they won the league.
I think they are. I think they are statistically, and they are playing better as well. It's very when they won the league. I think the memory I have of it is that it was every team was attacking them, and then it was just a long ball, and Jamie Vardy was quicker than every defender, and he got onto it. Whereas now they're actually scoring lots of different goals. They've got different goal scorers. They're playing good football.
Because when they first started that chat about league winning season, they were conceding lots, weren't they? And it was like, wasn't there like pizzas were going to be given for a clean sheet, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
I saw the stats earlier this week. You talk about the doing better. So they're scoring more goals per game, conceding less goals per game, having more shots per game, facing less shots per game, having more possession and more points per game in the same point that season. It is very impressive. It really is, and Vardy is a key to that. And I mentioned Vardy a few weeks back, but obviously Leicester have no European football, big tick. Vardy has no international football, big tick. He is just fully focused, raring to go, and he just puts his all into each match. And he's. I mean, could he break his record again? He's now got 7. He's now scored in 7 games in a row.
Yeah, it'll be tough. What is it at the moment? Is it 12 or 13 now? Is the actual record?
I'm not sure.
Might have been 14 actually. It's quite a lot. It's quite a lot that you've got to keep scoring. But They're playing really well, so you just don't know. Yeah, he could.
It's only 11.
Oh,
So
is it
he's
11?
got
Oh, okay. So
5 more games he's
Yeah.
got to go through. Probably takes him to Boxing Day, I should have thought.
oh, yeah, it is. It's Boxing Day against Liverpool. I remember reading it.
Ooh.
Yeah, yeah. If he scores
Oh,
in
and
every
Liverpool
game,
would have just come. Yeah, Liverpool would have just been back from the
Club World Cup. Yeah.
Club World Cup.
So-
So it's going to be an interesting December for that whole of the league, but that title race, because you've got to think that Liverpool will suffer somewhat from the fixture congestion and
Yeah.
just travelling over to Qatar.
Yeah. Agreed. But well done, Leicester again.
Yeah, and so I mean, Watford obviously we have the one match from Hayden Mullins, caretaker. They were a lot better defensively, but yeah, we mentioned Nigel Pearson. I think is a big task to turn this around. And will we see? This is the third manager. Will we see a fourth manager this season for Watford? What do you reckon, Dave?
No, I reckon they're going to stick with Pearson and go down and then get in. I think what they'll do, I think they'll stick with Pearson because they don't want to be that club that sacked 3 managers in one season. Or 4 managers in one season, wouldn't it? If they sack Pearson, it would be 4.
Yeah.
But I think they don't want to be that club, and they'll stick with him, and then they'll go down, and he will leave his job, and they will appoint someone like a Chris Hughton, where you just think, why didn't you just appoint him in the first place? That's what I think they'll do.
Yeah.
So
yeah, they haven't appointed someone you think, oh, if they'd appointed Big Sam for the end of the season, you go, all right, that's good, yeah, we're keeping him up. But they appointed someone who seems like they should be managing the Championship. So, okay, all right, we'll move on to the Zeki Friars derby. And
you could have had a few here, couldn't you? Berbatov, Fraser Campbell, Zeki Friars,
Carrick,
yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
And that's the end of that. Right, let's move on to the Peter Crouch derby.
No. We were watching this game simultaneously in 2 different countries, weren't we, Josh?
We were, and what amazed me, we mentioned the lag on the on Amazon Prime. I was actually ahead of you, though, wasn't I?
You were, yeah, because I was getting it through Internet Protocol TV. So
okay,
subscription on that. So it is still streaming. I'm not watching it live, yeah.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, do you want to talk us through it as a Tottenham fan away at Old Trafford? What were you hoping for, and where did it go wrong?
Yeah. So it went wrong. Team sheet initially. Honestly, I don't know how many times Sissoko and Winks have to play in central midfield for people to realise it doesn't work. Winks is fast becoming. This is a harsh comparison, but similar to what I linked Jesse Lingard to a while back. That Jesse Lingard would have been in the title-winning sides for United as that squad player, and I'm getting to the point now where I'm thinking Harry Winks may be more of a squad player for Tottenham rather than a starting central midfielder.
Yeah, I've not seen enough of Harry Winks and thought he's top quality or will be top quality. I've always thought he's a bit average in terms of Premier League central midfielders, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't think he'll ever be. He was never going to be. Obviously, we mentioned the derbies here. Michael Carrick was poached from Spurs for United. I can't see anyone going. Any of the other top sides going. Yeah, I'd like Harry Winks, unless they. Apart from the fact he's English and they'd fill a quota. He's and Sissoko. I mean, Sissoko. So yeah, that was
he's
my
not a
initial
central midfielder,
thought.
Sissoko.
No, and so that was my initial thought. So this is quite weak, but I was thinking, but United have been, they've been off it. Everything I read and see, like they're off the pace. They don't start. But honestly, it was just a different. This is what infuriates me about football, is that you can't make assumptions because the mental factor. Sides just get up for it. And United have been very good this season against the better sides. Like I mean, time will tell. We'll see later today or tomorrow, is it?
Today, later today.
Today, yeah. But obviously, you've drawn with Liverpool, Arsenal, beat Chelsea, beat Leicester, and then obviously beat Spurs. But it was just like we just never really got started, and it was just it was a big chasm in the whole on the pitches. There was defenders, there was Sissoko and Winks getting swamped, and then there was the rest of the players were just like on the right up the other end of the pitch. It was just nothing. We didn't really get started, and
well, I can remember,
that's credit to United, really.
I was just about to say, I can remember texting after the game and texting you and saying, why can't we play like this every week? It's so frustrating that we can't play like this every week. And then you text back and say it's so frustrating to come off a team like having a blip and playing well for one game. I do think the players had a point to prove to Mourinho. I think that's what they're trying to do. Fred especially, he was brilliant in the game.
Yeah, he had a very good game. Yeah,
really
apart from that shot, that one shot was beautiful. It almost went out behind him.
Yeah.
But Rashford had a very good game.
Lingard had a good game.
Lingard had a good game. Yeah.
Got an assist finally in the Premier League for Rashford's first goal.
Did he?
Yeah,
I didn't notice.
He did a little back heely flick thing that fell to Rashford, and I just think Rashford seems to have this very strange technique where he hits the ball quicker than goalkeepers expect. I mean, Gazzaniga probably should have saved it, but if you look, he's Rashford's connected with the ball before Gazzaniga's even planted his feet, and he's done that a lot of times to other goalkeepers as well.
He has got a ferocious strike in him, but because Rashford seemed to epitomise my thoughts on how United played. That he sometimes blows hot and cold, and he seemed really up for this match. It's we didn't help, and it doesn't help with our midfield not helping, the gap between centre back and full back, and Serge Aurier being Serge Aurier. He just had a real time of it there. Just why has he got space to run at you? Why are you allowing him to run at you and just be able to get shots in? It's just really frustrating. But he looked a bit of a world beater on Wednesday night.
The right result? Would you say Man United deserve the win?
I don't know. That penalty decision was pretty weak, and I can see why it's given. It's just stupid from Sissoko, but I don't know. Sissoko and unfortunate penalties go hand in hand now. I think a draw would have been fair. Maybe United slightly edged it, but I don't. It was a bit of a crashing back down. I thought obviously it was the good vibes are rolling from Mourinho's wins, and then it's like, oh no, we're still shit. And it's a bigger job than just getting a new manager.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, and a shout out to Dele Alli. Obviously, what a goal! A very good goal.
Oh,
really
lovely goal.
Terrible defending, but great goal.
That would have been horrific if that had been ruled out via VAR for the slightest block in his arm.
Yeah, never a handball. Or an arm ball, we're going to call it. But yeah, a good result all round. I was very happy with the performance. I think Fred showed how much better he is when he plays alongside McTominay rather than Andres Pereira, who is absolute useless. Should be sold. But anyway, it was good.
When he was about to come on, Dave was like, "Oh, Tottenham are going to score now. Pereira's on the pitch." Yeah.
You will. I said Tottenham will score now. Pereira's on the pitch, but you didn't, so it was fine. And we got the win, and with the 3 points, and it's only a point between us, isn't it? Us in 6th.
It's still very tight. Yeah. It'll be interesting again. We obviously have an easier game than you guys on this weekend, so it will change again.
I think it will be.
Right. We'll move on to the, as I mentioned, little spoiler alert, Peter Crouch derby, Southampton v Norwich, and God, what a week for Southampton this has been.
It's
like they were stuck down the relegation well, and they've used the heads of the other people in that well to climb up and out of it. They have just crushed them by beating Watford and now Norwich. And it's Norwich had some hope for 3 days after they got their win, but now they're back amongst it. But Southampton fans, Danny Ings, James Ward-Prowse, the special teams player, it's all been going well, hasn't it?
It's very good. I think I texted you about James Ward-Prowse's assist as well from the free. It's a fantabulous delivery at that near post, just getting it right over the first man, and Danny Ings just has to guide it in the net, and it was a lovely, lovely header. I think this is what we both said about Southampton. We both picked them to do really well this year, but once they started to struggle, I think we both said there are 3 worse teams than them in the league, and they will beat those teams. And I think that's all they've got to do, really. They've beaten Watford, they've beaten Norwich. When they play Everton next, they'll probably beat them. They'll probably go and beat Brighton when they play them next as well. And then they'll push themselves
happy
away.
Days.
Yeah, and I think that's all they've got to do.
No, it does look. Yeah.
It's good.
And obviously getting a settled side back, Gineppo back in, who's been really good for them, and Ings scoring goals, and it's been good. But Timu Pukki, another goal to add to the list.
Yeah, he's getting close to double figures, isn't he? He's getting close to me buying Jim a pint.
8 now. Yeah, God, how will you cope, Dave?
I know. Well, to be fair, I've got to actually go and see Jim first, haven't I, in Australia? So
Yeah, that's the expense of this. Yeah, people don't realise. Dave's actually got to get a flight, then a second internal flight to rural Australia and get by
and then buy
someone
the pint.
Yeah, and get straight back on the plane because he's not allowed to stay and drink with him.
That's it. Yeah,
it's not part of the rules.
So, well, I won't be able to afford 2 pints after that. I'll just have to buy 1 pint just for Jim and then come home.
Yeah,
but yeah. So well done, Southampton. Yeah, well done.
All right,
moving on.
Move on. We'll move on to Wolves, West Ham, and the Roger Johnson derby of the relegator, Roger Johnson.
Relegator. Recently retired, didn't he?
Oh, is he?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's now retired.
Formidable partnerships with Scott Dan, didn't he? What about Scott Dan? Is Scott Dan still?
Scott Dan's still playing. Yeah, Scott Dan's still going. Is Scott Dan at Crystal Palace? Still.
Probably injured, I imagine, at Crystal Palace, yeah.
Yeah, Scott Dan is currently at Crystal Palace, yeah. And he's currently injured.
Yeah. So this obviously a 2-0 win for Wolves here, and the heat back on Pellegrini. Alleviated a little while back on it, and it didn't look great again, did they?
No, it's getting to the point now, isn't it, with Pellegrini? It's not if, it's when. It's going to happen at some point. I honestly think West Ham, I think the board are just waiting for there to be a good candidate that they can go and approach.
Yeah, and all the time they're keeping their head above water and not in the mire. They're like, okay, we keep. They may have someone in mind to wait and become available, but it could turn for them. Results go the wrong way. It could be relegation zone again.
I mean, in terms of Wolves, I think Adama Traore is turning into a bit of a player at the moment. His last 2 or 3 games,
it's really nice to see.
Really good player for him. Key roles.
Maybe a bit longer. It's nice to see because so often you're like, if he can only have some end product, and he's actually putting it out there now. It's really I'm really happy for him because you didn't want it to be one of those players like, oh god, he's so quick, so good at dribbling, but you can't just be a showman like that. You actually got to contribute on the pitch, and he's doing it. And contributing to Wolves' 10 match unbeaten run all the time without Willy Bolly, their best centre back. So it's really good for Wolves, isn't it?
Very impressive, yeah, very very impressive. Up to 5th, aren't they now? Yeah, 2 points ahead of Man United, 6 behind Chelsea. I mean, if you were Nuno Espirito Santo, would you leave and go manage Arsenal for a bit of a bit more of a historic club? No, okay,
no. No, because he's got the backing. He's got money to spend here. They're doing well in Europe. They're doing well in the league. It will be, and honestly, the job at Arsenal is a tough job.
Yeah,
you've got, and I don't think it's him coming in as manager would convince Aubameyang to stay, or I mean, if he wants to, Ozil to stay. I don't know. I think it wouldn't be a great move for all parties. I don't think.
No, fair enough.
All right, we'll go over to Merseyside for the Abel Xavier derby, and we touched on this earlier, and this was not great, was it?
It really wasn't, and I just a stat that blew my mind when Divock Origi scored his second goal. There's only 2 players that have scored more Premier League goals against Everton for Liverpool: Robbie Fowler and Steven Gerrard.
Really?
And then third on that list is Divock Origi. Yeah. How mental is that?
Wow.
Yeah.
He hates them.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But I mean, shout out, man of the match for me here is Sadio Mane. Just the assists that guy's putting in. What can't that guy do?
I know. I read an article after the game, and it was like, is Sadio Mane the best player on the world at this moment in time? And he might be. Like his passing, his shots, his dribbling. He's incredible. He's absolutely incredible.
He's so quick as well. You see him get, start to run. You're like, God, he does a little sprint every now and then. It's like, shit, he can just absolutely just roast a player. And
the pass into Shaqiri.
Oh yeah,
that's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. But I mean, I
mean, Liverpool were a little bit fortunate, I would say. 5 shots on target, 5 goals is pretty effective.
Yeah, I was going to comment on Jordan Pickford. Is he a bit of a fraud? Like,
I was chatting football to some friends last night, and I was getting a little bit excited about the Euros when I was like, you know what? there's so many weak areas of our team which is not Euro winning material, and yeah, goalkeeper's one of them. And I'm not sure there's a lot of candidates for that goalkeeper spot, and none of them I'm like, brilliant, you're nailed on for that.
Yeah, I just think he's too rash off his line. Like, how easy was it for Divock Origi to score his first goal? Pickford just like rushed out at him, and he just literally one touch round him.
Yeah, it was a similar thing with Matt Ryan, I think, like a few months back, where he rushed out. I think it was against Everton. Not against Everton. Yeah, it was against Everton. Yeah, and Calvert-Lewin was able to just put it in because Ryan rushed out. But if you stay in goal, and it makes it a lot harder. And yeah, it's those decisions which really are quite telling sometimes, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely. So, but I mean, I don't think we need to go into too much detail. Liverpool were rampant, and Everton was so bad they sacked their manager. So
yes. Then on to the Thursday night's game. So we have the we'll go to these big derbies. These ones. We'll go to the Ian Rush derby, Sheffield United Newcastle. But that's who knew that? Who knew that one? That's an Ian Rush derby.
I did not know that one.
There we go.
Yeah. Well, should we start with the most controversial bit? And
it was similar to we mentioned Jordan Pickford. It was similar in the Leicester game, wasn't it? The referee, the linesman raises his flag, so Pickford was annoyed, and Iheanacho scores. And then similar in this match, there was another instance of playing to the whistle, wasn't there?
Yeah, and it was like it's a strange situation because would the players still have stopped if VAR didn't exist? Because you're always taught to play to the whistle, but the referee very rarely overrules the linesman. But now they can because of VAR. But back in the day, before VAR, do you think the Sheffield United defenders would have ran backwards? Oh, but we're talking about John Joe Shelby's goal, everyone, obviously.
Yes.
But yeah, do you think they would have? Play to the whistle.
Even more so now because it's just going to get cleared up by VAR. It's like your overzealous appeals will mean nothing because VAR will do its job. You need and they are obviously to blame. You need to play to whistle. It is very hard to kind of, if you see a flag go up, it does affect your mindset. I can't get away from that, but and it's so often the attacking players who just continue, isn't it? They're like, oh yeah, I'm just going to
That's what I mean. John Joe Silva did that, and I swear, and he walks back, he expects to be booked by the referee when he walks past him for kicking the ball away, and then
I'm not sure John Joe Shelby knows really what's going on, to he's just
true.
in life.
Very true. But I mean, it's an abrupt end to Sheffield United's run, isn't it? They were unbeaten in 9, I think, something like that, 8 or 9.
Christ, Newcastle, wow.
And I mean, not even that. Mankio got an assist, which is unheard of. Maximin scored, which is unheard of.
Again, I know. It's I do love a bit of Maximin.
It's been raised before on the podcast and stuff, and I've got to now put my hands up and say credit to Steve Bruce. He is getting the results, and is he doing better than Rafa Benitez? That's the question.
I mean, the problem is it's hard to compare the two because suddenly money was spent in Newcastle. It's like Rafa Benitez has been going, how. Oh man, and but yeah, it's from 15 games in now, 19 points. That's pretty much where they'd want to be. They've probably got 3-4 games now for halfway stage, and anything's a bonus in terms of your points needed to avoid relegation. They're ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
So it's.
I mean, it could have been very different if Martin Dubravka wasn't on the form he was. He made some unbelievably good saves. From McBurney twice, I think.
Harry Kane lookalike. Yeah. And remember, he was linked with PSG in the summer as a backup goalkeeper.
Yeah.
A few people raised eyebrows, but he's not the complete goalkeeper. He does have some moments, but shot stopping. He's got it nailed on.
Yeah. Good. Well done, Newcastle, and well done, Brucey. Credit where it's deserved.
Now, let's move on to the Gavin Hoyt derby, Arsenal versus Brighton.
Oh, Arsenal!
Oh my! Freddie Ljungberg's at the wheel, and it's not really going anywhere.
No, he's got it stuck in neutral with a handbrake on. It's just we were chatting about this last night when I was having some drinks with work people, and it even as a Man United fan to see Arsenal not have sort of like a system or a style of play or something? When you think about how good their football was back in the day with the passing and Thierry Henry and even Lundberg sort of time and Perez
Lundberg and Perez on the wing, Gilberto Silva.
It was so nice to watch.
Bergkamp,
even as like you were jealous and envious of it as an opposing fan of that football they could play. And now it's just so shit. Like it is, isn't it? It's just shit. Like
it really is. Honestly, I don't know what style of football they have.
Yeah,
I honestly couldn't tell you what their identity is, and so much stuff that Lundberg comes out of just reeks of Solskjaer again. I just want to get the smile back on the players' faces and make it. It's like, oh God, do you actually want to? What do you want to do? Tell them a joke, or are you just going to actually just play some good football? It's just
again, who do Arsenal get in as a manager? Lundberg's not going to get it. He won't get it full time. It's like, no. But who? I mean, Allegri could be available, but he said he doesn't want a job until the summer. And then Allegri's sort of a bit similar to Emery.
And Emery, we've mentioned it a few times, is that Emery, his English was poor. He wasn't very charismatic, and the media kind of latch onto that, and that adds pressure. Like the Harry Redknapp of this world get a light touch from media because they're affable and friendly. And Allegri is similar to that. His English isn't great, and he's a bit serious and Juventus don't play under Allegri. Didn't play an exciting brand of football. It was an effective brand of football. So it might be what Arsenal are wanting, and similar to what Spurs are getting, I suppose. But it's not great, is it?
And then on the flip side, you look at Brighton, and they haven't had the best of results recently, but they've given Graham Potter a new contract because they can see the style of play he's implementing and can see that it is sort of working, and the fans are excited and things like that. And it's
none of this. I need 3-4 transfer window shit. He is just with all but the same players changed the style of play completely and effectively. He has done remarkably well.
A really good job. I think. Was it Webster scored the first, didn't they, for Arsenal? For Brighton, sorry, and it was a nice goal, good finish from a corner, terrible marking from the likes of Luiz and Socrates, I think, came back into centre back because they dropped Mustafi. Terrible marking. It fell to Webster. Good finish. Lacazette gets the equaliser. Did he really celebrate? I can't really remember.
More of a kind of come on type thing. Better than his celebration the other day.
Yeah, and then Neil. Mopay, yeah. Again, another good finish. What's your thoughts on the Arsenal goal that they scored? Who was at fault for it, do you think? Because it was a looping cross and sort of a back post header. Matt Ryan comes out, flaps at it a bit, and defender doesn't really jump very well.
Matt Ryan does suffer from his height. I really like Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan really good with his feet. Good at shot stopping, but that reach sometimes affects him, and also the kind of the strength in the air. So I think a stronger, bigger goalkeeper would have that wouldn't have been a goal, I don't think.
Yeah. Okay.
But overall, he's a good goalkeeper.
As Arsenal fans, leave your comments below about what on earth is going wrong and who can fix it. So. Yeah, because I remember speaking, thinking that get Tierney and Bellerin back at fullback, that'll fix it. But I think Bellerin's having a bit of a tough time coming back from injury. It can take a long while to get back up to speed physically and mentally, and it does seem to be struggling a little bit. Yeah, it is. And I mean, again, it's Arsenal are down in 10th on 19 points, joint with Newcastle and Sheffield United all on 19. But 1 point, and one sort of place above them with 20 points is Spurs. Then 1 place above them is Man United in 6th with 21. So it's very close still. It's like you say, this weekend it could all be changed. Yes. And we'll cover that in a bit. But first, Dave, I got a wiki file. Here comes a wiki file. I got a wiki file for you. Hey, Josh has sent me a wiki file, and it's an interesting one, and I think I know who it is. Purely because of Football Manager. But his youth career started at Kingstonian. He didn't have a date. And then he also didn't have a date when he joined Chelsea as a youth player. Just birth, joint contracts, Kingstonian and Chelsea. And then in 2006, he joined the Chelsea first team and was there for 5 years, making 4 appearances for Chelsea, but also went on loan to Queen's Park Rangers twice. That must be 2 seasons, 2006 to 2008, 58 appearances, so this was obviously his grounding. 2008 to 2011, At Wolverhampton Wanderers to see out his Chelsea contract, he was there and played 56 games, where I think he had dreadlocks when he was at Wolves. 2011 to 2014, he made a very strange switch to Germany and went and played for Hamburger. 49 appearances there. 2 years into that, they realised he wasn't actually that good, so he got dropped down to their second team and played 2 appearances. All of these have 0 goals, by the way. 2014,
Oh yeah, I noticed he's not a goal scorer, is he? Yeah.
2014 to 2018, moved back to the UK and played for Nottingham Forest, 122 appearances, and then realised that's not for him, let's go and make some money, and joined the MLS and joined New England Revolution. And he's still playing there currently, 26 appearances, 1 goal. His solitary goal in his career has come in the MLS. We are looking at Michael Mancien.
We are looking at Michael
Yeah.
Mancien, the original kind of young mixed-race English player going abroad to Germany.
Yeah. And he moved, when he moved to Germany, to Hamburger, is when he was just being talked about for an England cap, if I remember rightly.
Yes, yeah, I
and then
remember
it all
this, yeah.
went tits up. I think he made a squad but didn't play, maybe.
Tell you what's interesting about his career, his loans from Chelsea were... It's quite unusual to have more than season-long loans, but he had both of his loans to QPR and Wolves more than 1 season. So that's quite nice, because that's a bit more stability rather than chopping and change. You've got Andros Townsend's thing is chop and change, but it doesn't seem to help. He's had a decent career, but it's been a bit chop change, isn't it? He played in England, Germany, England, and America again, but
yeah. But yeah, I think he's he was thought very highly of, but it's one of those, isn't it? If he has those loan spells and then Chelsea didn't renew his contract and he went to Hamburger, then it sort of smells of the big club don't trust him sort of thing. They would have made more of an effort to keep him. But
international career, Dave, what do you reckon he's got in his locker?
I can't remember if he had 1 cap or 0 caps for England. I'm going to say 0 caps for England, and then I'll say 20 under 21 caps.
So he 0 caps for England, but he did get a call up from Fabio Capello. He was in the squad but didn't get on. In the under-21s, 30 caps, 1 goal.
Oh.
So his goal tally, he scored 6 for the England under-16s, 3 in 6 appearances. So obviously maybe got a different position back then. 1 goal for the under-21s, and then obviously 1 goal for New England Revolution. These are maybe he scored some more outside of league competitions, because that's what Wikipedia stats have. No, he hasn't. But yeah, I mean, I don't follow the MLS. Have you seen anything of him in?
No, not really. I used to follow the MLS in a bit more detail, but since I've moved here, I haven't, and it's not heard of him pulling up any trees or anything out there. So
now I'm just having a look at their roster now. Is he playing with anyone of any note? Carlos Gil to the layman. No, not exactly. Probably a big name amongst that. Yeah. Well, Michael Mancien. Well done, Michael Mancien. Well done, Dave. Your brain is still on fire. Right, shall we move on to a little bit of a preview of the upcoming games for anyone who could?
Yeah, very quick preview.
Very quick preview. I'll rattle through them, and you tell me your thoughts on the games. Everton, Chelsea.
Chelsea win. I don't think Big Dunk's going to inspire them that much. Chelsea 2-0, 2-1.
Yeah, I think they'll be. Yeah, I think so. Bournemouth, Liverpool.
Oh, 3-4-0 Liverpool.
I've gone that, but I've also thought Bournemouth are weird and they might pull something out of the bag here. Dominic Solanke, Jordan Ibe to combine to thrash Liverpool 3-1, and Liverpool left stunned. Spurs versus Burnley.
Spurs to win, but I have no idea. It's got 1-0, maybe a bit of a shithousery win, I guess.
Yeah.
Ndombele to come in and start.
Derby.
Yeah. Ndombele to start and score a banger.
Okay. Watford versus Palace.
0-0. I think it'll be pretty shit.
Yeah, I think that too. Yeah, Watford, new manager, keep it tight. Palace have no problem keeping it tight, and that sounds dirty.
I think Palace would say a point away at a new manager appointed at Watford. Good result.
I think they'd be a bit disappointed. City versus United.
3-1 to City.
Oh, you're not hopeful?
No.
Okay.
I do know someone that's flown to Manchester from Singapore just for that game, just to go to the Emirates to watch that game, as a Man United fan.
Some people have too much money. That is impressive. So we move on to Sunday matches. Villa versus Leicester.
1-1. I think Villa will play really well.
Emil Heskey derby. I can. I think Leicester will snatch it again last minute. Vardy. Newcastle versus Southampton.
I'm going to 2-2.
2-2. Desmond. Okay. I think that might be quite a good match actually.
Yeah, I think it will.
Yeah. Norwich versus Sheffield United. Not a great match.
1-0 Sheffield United.
1-0 Sheffield United. Oh, back on the winning. No,
Yeah.
Norwich to do the business here. I don't know how they fared against each other last year, because obviously they're sensibly the same size. They're very similar to what I had last year.
Very
there
true.
It goes. Brighton versus Wolves.
2-0 Wolves.
2-0 Wolves.
Yeah.
Even after Brighton's good win midweek.
Yeah, I think they'll be a bit too attacking, and Wolves can hit them on the counter quite easily.
I was thinking exactly the same. I'm thinking Adama Traore to just wreak havoc. And then the Monday night match: West Ham versus Arsenal. Can Lundberg pick up some points?
No, he can't.
Can Pellegrini pick up some points?
Yes, I think it'll be
someone has to.
1-1 or 1-0 West Ham or 2-1 West Ham. I think Arsenal are going to keep struggling, and this will extend the Pellegrini's stay of execution a little bit longer.
And then also force Arsenal's hand to actually point someone permanently.
Yeah, potentially. So, yeah.
Excellent.
What do you think about West Ham Arsenal? You haven't put your.
No, I think that will be a West Ham to at least get a draw in that match. I can't see Arsenal winning it.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome.
Excellent. Right. Super Six quickly. I had a bit of a week in Super Six. How did you fare?
I forgot to submit them. I think. I may have submitted them, and even if I did, I didn't do very well. So.
Obviously, you can get your Super Sixes in. I mean, this is going to be too late for most people to get a Super Six in. But I'm still second place. You are up in sixth, Dave, and with Tom Hennigan still leading it, well out in front now. He's on 211. I'm on 185. All can change.
Calm down,
all
Tom.
Can change
too
this
good.
week. Yeah. Give us a chance, Tom.
Yeah.
Give us a chance, and give Samuel Bethany a chance, because he's really not doing too great. So come on, Sam. All right. Any other business, David Nichols?
No, not from me.
Not from you, not from me. So we'll leave it there this week. A little bit of a change. Obviously, a Saturday podcast with reviewing midweek matches from Amazon Prime. This podcast is brought to you by Amazon Prime. We'll take all money from Amazon, please, but we pay our taxes. And so previewing this week's matches. So we'll obviously see you next Sunday back as normal. Until then, you can catch us on YouTube at Football Talk, where is our mainstay. Leave us comments and obviously subscribe and like. Listen to us on the SoundCloud and Spotify. Hopefully we made your Spotify list of 2019. How many minutes you've listened to us? That would be interesting to see if anybody's got us on the list. And catch us on Twitter. But remember, on Twitter there is no A in football. It's Football Talk without the A. So until then, bye bye.